I'm Gary Peng. I'm research scientist with the Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, and most recently I've been working with the Blackleg. The Blackleg is a name we call it here because of the symptoms. It's not so visible until the harvest time. When you cut the stems, you will see the blackening inside. We look at about 5 to 15% of a yield reduction in the severe situation. The bigger concern is the export, especially in the Asian market. And this disease is still a quarantine issue with the export to China. We need to continue to do a good job to manage this disease to facilitate our trade with China. Canola was created in Canada in 1960s. And when the disease first discovered in Saskatchewan, we had a very little knowledge or information about this disease. I started the research on this disease in 2011 when the disease was creeping up in the field surveys. So the study we started included looking at the pathogen population. The second project was to look at the fungicide efficacy and the timing. And also we work with the scientists in China to assess the breeding lines they have and see what the resistance, the resources they have. The pathogen population monitoring, the information we've had has prompted the seed companies to look for or adapt the new resistant genes in the variety. So now we have a new variety carry more effective resistant genes for the growers. We're trying to develop a protocol we can simplify the screening of quantitative resistance in the germplasm, and we can work with the seed companies to help us select the quantitative resistance more efficiently. We were working quite intensively on the seed treatments, and that also involved chemical companies and looking at a different treatment method to extend the window of protection. I think the most impact our research have had so far is on the fungicide front. And for the fungicide, we found out it is not cost effective in most cases using the fungicide on the prairies. And now more growers know they don't have to rush to go out to the spray in early spring because it's not going to be that efficient economically. Overall, the fungicide they use has been cut by 50% over the last 10 years. So when you look at the savings, from an economic perspective, and also the impact on the environment with the 50% of the reduction, which is very good. The short project that we have done with the impact of resistant resources in the Chinese germplasm, which helped our negotiation with the trade. Now our trade volume is at about $3 billion a year. We are continuing to monitor the pathogen population to be able to project the changes in the pathogen population. And there are some new tools that can be used, for example, the artificial intelligence and the machine learning to beef up the surveillance of a pathogen population. And we emphasize the importance of scouting, especially when you're in a short rotation. And also, we recommend the use of resistant varieties and talk to your sales rep about the pathogen situation is in your area, what are genes that they're using, and ask about their quantitative resistant background. And SAS Canola has been taking the leadership on the Blackleg research. There are at least a couple of rounds of canola science cluster program in which SAS Canola has been the key coordinator of funding and the project management through Canola Council of Canada. I think that our growers benefit from this research information. For example, the fungicide application. I have to say our prairie producers are very progressive and proactive in terms of supporting research. And a lot of things wouldn't happen without funding support from the producers.